alone out there. We're not alone here. Of course, many counties in our area.
Dad can just sleep in my room.
Completely. So thank you, Jenna. We want to turn now to Pinellas County, where the winds have been picking up out there, as many of our counties have seen.
Yeah, truly. ABC Action News reporter Robert Boyd is live for us in Seminole right now.
Fine.
Robert, how are conditions there where you
are? Well, me and the crew have been in Seminole, in Pinellas County most of the day, and this is the worst we've seen it by far. This minivan right next to me, every few minutes you actually see it kind of shaking back and forth. That's how powerful the wind has been. Trees just swaying back and forth. Stop signs rattling. We're hoping nothing comes loose and comes flying.
Oh, shit. Definitely caught that. Whatever that was, we caught that.
Batten down the hatches. They put everything away. They got the patio furniture. They got all the water leaks. They put them away. That's good news. So right now, nothing really flying around, which is good. We're watching the trees go back and forth. As far as power outages, I think Dennis, I don't want to get this wrong, I think you said a 250,000 people without power. Well, count us in on that 250,000 because the Airbnb, me and the team were staying in lost power hours ago, probably around 6 o'clock. Goes to this neighborhood, it's dark, and then we see these flashes of what it's not lighting, it's just because there's power outages.
They end up with the electric and water bill.
So right now, very dangerous out here. We feel safe there because this area is complete and as crazy as it looks with no evacuation zone. They let the people stay here for the most part. Everyone's inside.
So the green light's over there, so now it's going to be over here somewhere.
So people are staying safe, staying inside. That's a good thing. And keep in mind, Pinellas County Emergency and first responders, they're staying inside too. So if there's any kind of emergency out here, you're kind of on your own. So please stay safe. Tempting as it might be, you can look out the window. You know, stay in a safe place in the middle of your home, away from windows, because the wind is coming. You just don't know if something could break through.
Whoa, the sky just lit up blue.
He almost put me in the car. He almost went.
All night long, be out here.
No laughing. No laughing. No
Continue to
laughing.
monitor it and just help the people stay safe. Thank you guys.
All right, Robert. Yes, please stay safe. Get into a safer location if you can. Jason, go ahead.
A little bit of information we're just getting in from the National Weather Service.
Just
While we're
trying not
seeing
to
the
cover
reverse
your-
surge happening in Tampa Bay where water levels are coming down, those east-facing beaches, so MacDill Air Force Base, Bayshore Boulevard, because of the east wind pushing out in the opposite direction, we are seeing some flooding on this side of South Tampa and also on this side of St. Pete and also Anna Maria Island. We're getting side. Now, as far as numbers go, we haven't gotten those numbers, but we are getting reports of flooding in those areas. So again, even though the surge maximized at highest to the south of our area, with now very strong 80-90 mile per hour northeast winds, this is creating flooding on east-facing beaches, east-facing coastal spots here, I should say, from Anna Maria Island down north to St. Pete, also on Bayshore Boulevard in South Tampa, near MacDill Air Force Base, is where we're looking at some of that. So I just wanted to pass that along because we've been watching the storm surge so closely, and while we're not getting those 6 to 9 foot total rises in these areas, we haven't gotten any numbers yet from Sarasota or Manatee County as far as heights of surges go.
caught that light
Fort Myers
flickered
Beach,
so many
storm
times.
surge there. Naples is seeing major flooding right now with storm surge down in Naples. So maximized to the south and center, but some of our spots
Damn,
here
I think I missed it.
picking up a little bit on
But
the
we have
storm
the
surge,
sky
too.
lighting
We took
up.
another power hit. We do have more gusts.
Yeah, that's what I was
some
trying to get,
gusts
the sky
that
light.
pass along really quickly, and then I'll get it back over to you, Wendy. 96 in Sarasota still, a new one of 94 in St. Pete, and Tampa so far, the highest
Tyler
gust,
Green
82
is
miles
gonna
per
have
hour
me
here
arguing
at Tampa
with you.
International Airport. So that's the very latest that we have.
All right, thank you, Jason. And by the way, you know, usually that side of Bayshore, closer to the base, near MacDill Air Force Base, doesn't normally flood. But after Helene, during Helene and after, we saw flooding in that area that we've never seen before. So, and I'm sure the ground is so saturated, as we've talked about. This is all of course. We do want to stay in Hillsborough
For
County
who?
right now. Scripps News reporter Lillian Donahue is in Tampa on our ABC Action News parking garage right
Yeah,
across the
who are
street
we
from
catching?
Stadium.
Yeah, Lillian, I don't know if you heard this earlier. We took a power hit less than
Okay.
5 minutes ago. So talk about the conditions outside.
What, is there power out?
For people who don't know, ABC Action is right across the street from Ray J, so it's in that West Tampa area.
Yeah, you heard that power hit. Well, we saw that power hit. We've seen at least 2 transformers blow in this direct area. And of course, power go down twice here at the station before quickly coming back up. But these are the strongest winds that we have seen so far in this storm. And mind you, this is
I know it's
being blocked
flickering.
by wind right now, but there's kind of like a tunnel of wind coming through where we park a lot of the cars. We can see across the street over at Ray J Stadium. I mean, it's just completely almost this,
Oh, yeah,
I
that is
don't want to say white out, I would say gray out right now. If you're looking at this wind level here, sustained strong, the strongest we've seen so far, especially if you zoom into those lights. That's really where you can see that wind, where it's coming from, and just how fast it's coming. We've also noticed it whipping around as it hits the buildings, kind of almost going in a circular motion before continuing. I'm from the Midwest, and I learned how to count how far lightning strikes are by the thunder. And I'm telling you, the lightning that we've seen here recently, very close. Some close to the point that I actually went a little bit further for a few minutes before I felt like it was safe enough to get to the edge here. But again, just kind of showing you these conditions. The ground completely saturated right now. No one outside, thank goodness, because of what we're seeing. Of course, these winds, these gusts are coming in and out, but we can feel the power of Milton as it's coming in. And like I said, you heard it, we saw it, those transformers blowing. That one, there was one over there behind you. There's also one over that way. And I think there was a third. It could have also been lightning, but it did have a pretty immediate boom. So like I said, when you're counting how far, going old school, how far this stuff is,
Yeah, and that's right. And our Eric Waxler is standing by in downtown St. Pete with what the weather conditions are out there right now. Eric?
Yeah, I haven't used the word deluge in a long time, I think, but I would say it is definitely appropriate right now. We have just had an onslaught of rain now for a few hours here in downtown St. Pete. Central Avenue that way, we are on 17th Street. We are protected by a 7-story building here, the True by Hilton Hotel, and it really giving us a unique perspective because it's we're seeing the wind and the rain whip around in a southwest motion, like almost like we're in a band. And if you look at these cars, if you've ever seen a vehicle put in a wind tunnel, test aerodynamics, I feel like we're getting when some of the sheets of rain come over these two trucks that are here, you're really seeing that exact thing as the water comes over these cars. Just an incredible amount of wind. And we look off into the distance,
I don't know.
Trees, you see the power lines, the street sign.
That was me
the
farting.
strongest
It was.
that we've had here, and we've had some strong gusts.
That
We
was
were on
me
the
farting.
3rd floor balcony here, if you were watching earlier.
It
And
actually
as
scared me.
the conditions worsened, we got off that balcony. They closed the doors, they locked them, but those doors were shaking
Dad.
from the wind. And now we're down here on the 1st floor
Oh, my mom.
and really getting
I farted
an
and it
incredible
goes,
look at the
"You
power
heard that?"
Hurricane
You
Milton
heard that?
is giving us here in
Yeah,
downtown
she was like,
St.
"You heard that?"
Petersburg.
I'm like, "Yeah."
It is
That-
something to
she
behold.
goes, "Yeah, that was me farting."
All
that
we
scared
can do
me.
is hope that everyone here is safe, and we're hearing
Because it was
transformers
loud.
blow. So we just hope that everyone here is safe as we continue to monitor conditions. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Eric. We do want to go back to
Thank you
Paul
for
and
your
Bradenton
part,
now.
Yeah, a lot going on. That he was in the eye of the storm, and obviously this is the other side of the storm. Paul, what a difference just an hour makes, huh?
What should I name this?
Yeah, wind is really picking up now,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
coming in from, what would you say, guys? The south? North. Coming in from the north, so that is not quite the opposite direction as it was earlier, but it is switched back for sure, and it's coming in, blowing toward the house. So the difference is we had this row of homes in this neighborhood shielding us from the wind in our earlier reports. Now you don't have that. And so the rain, like nails to the face, it's blowing
Like
sideways
nails
and up,
to the
and the
face.
wind is actually stronger now, even though, is what I looked at on
Like
the radar.
wind to the face.
Okay, all right. No, we're good. Yep. Okay. We're seeing some things blow up behind me, transformers. So the wind is definitely strong. It's interesting how, I guess it's perspective because the wind is blowing from a different direction, so you're feeling it in a different way. I know behind the house, there is some damage. The wind blew down the fence behind the house earlier because the wind was coming from the north, and so again the house shielding us earlier in our live reports. So behind the house there's damage. Now it's coming from the other direction, blowing not quite toward the house, but in this direction. And so
on my screen, there's
we're seeing some
light
signs
from over there.
really take a beating. Cities take the beating, and the rain.
It's farther away.
You know, quite frankly,
You see
it's
it?
like nails on face. Spoke with is this neighborhood? A lot of people stayed here to ride out the storm. Wow. Okay. And they're in their garage, literally next door, 10 feet from us. I want to quickly toss to that interview. And go ahead. Go ahead. Ask a question.
Hey, Paul, it's Jason. You answered my question. The reason why I wanted to talk to you as debris is flying by, so be careful, buddy. Watch it. You answered the question, though. I was talking about how the winds were reversing now that the opposite side of the eye is coming in, and you are right now on the very extreme edge of the northern eye wall, that northwestern eye wall, and winds are still estimated at 80 to 90 miles per hour here in that. So, yes, you answered the question I was going to ask you. We're talking about the opposite wind direction. Appreciate it, buddy. Be safe out there while we continue to watch your shot. I do want to come back to me real fast, though, because I am seeing something that's a little bit of a concern here in Tampa and also east side of Tampa. So as we look at the radar, we're starting to see the eye wall rotate and kind of pivot a little more to the east now. But how bright these red colors are showing up here from Riverview to downtown, over to Brandon and Valrico. Extremely heavy rainfall rates now moving into these areas, and along with those extremely heavy rainfall rates, this is where we're now going to see the 79.
That ain't us, so we're good.
So we've had back to your
I know,
west,
but that
begin to shift a little more in our inland spots. Those power outage numbers continue to rise pretty quickly, and I know some of you saying on Facebook,
the light,
Logan.
Yeah, I know.
The light's gone.
We're really taking it on the chin right now. What's it look like? And that's the reason why here in inland Hillsborough County now, across 75, you're beginning to see that part of the eye wall
we'll see more green,
stuck in place here over
most definitely.
Brandon Boulevard, getting up to the Valrico area, and then also up to Sefner and Mango as well. It is still stuck in place here in Tampa, especially from Tampa Bay and to the east. So we're talking about South Tampa, McGill Air Force Base, getting up West Shore, the Veterans Express, Carrollwood, Lake Magdalene, Temple Terrace. All these areas here to the north and east side of I-275 are also now stuck into the worst part of this storm. It's been a little bit the last hour.
I'm gonna shorten the video and all that.
Moving to the east with the eye wall continuing to slide off to the east. Heading back to Pinellas County. Finally, some good news, a little bit of good news for you guys. The bright red colors that were sitting over top of us with 96 mile per hour wind gusts, 94 mile per hour wind gusts, starting to shift east and more so over South Tampa and McDill Air Force Base. So maybe a little bit of intensity left here for those of you in Pinellas County right now, but overall, we're still looking at the eye wall being the focal point for these very strong winds. And we've got about another 15 minutes or so of that extreme wind warning which continues here for Pinellas County, even though we're starting to see this eye wall again pivot toward inland spots.
It's so eerie, John. It's so eerie.
And where we are in Sarasota, we're now on the backside
I
of the eye. I no longer as clear on radar as what it was since it's now
I'll call you tomorrow.
inland, but we're now on the backside of it, and even though the intensity
He's all right.
of the rainfall isn't there,
Matter of fact,
the
he's
winds
doing
are.
really
It's
good,
still an
John.
eye wall, regardless of whether you have rain
He's
there
doing
or
really
not.
good.
And that's
Got
what's
two
still going to
broken
provide
arms,
some
but he's
stronger
doing
winds
really
like
good.
Paul was seeing a second ago here in
Who's
Burlington,
that?
Sarasota,
All right, I love
CST,
you.
down south through Casey Key, and also
All right,
getting
babe.
into
Love you.
portions of Nokomis. I do want to point out
My
that
scumple.
we are seeing significant
Kevin,
surge now
hey,
in
get that
places like
paperwork
Punta
down.
Gorda, Port Charlotte,
It's my
Fort Myers
scumple.
Beach, and Naples. That's where we're seeing maximized surge. We are in high water right now in these areas, not from rain, but from the surge that's moving onshore as the eye continues to move inland. It's possible that we see water rises back here on our coast north of where the eye wall made landfall once this shifts inland and we start to see our winds turning back and off the Gulf of Mexico. So while we may have escaped the brunt of the high surge where the eye and south makes landfall for areas north, we still have to watch and see what the backside of this hurricane is going to do as it moves inland, because that could potentially set us up with a little bit of water rise at the coast. But right now, we're seeing a negative surge. Clearwater Beach is down 2.5 feet from normal high tide. Normal tide level that it's at right now, it's down 2.5 feet. So we are not seeing surge flooding in Clearwater Beach. We're seeing freshwater
much going
flooding
on.
as we are through most of Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Pasco counties tonight. But the surge flooding is down south, and we may start to see that creeping back up to the north. Once again, the backside of the eye wall shifts inland, and the backside of the hurricane starts to turn our winds back around off the Gulf of Mexico. So that's where the worst of it is right now. Here, moving into northeastern and central Hillsborough County, along I-4, I-75, I-275, from the Hillsborough River State Park area, south of downtown Tampa, getting into the Riverview, Brant, Ypsilanton area, and also now still holding tough in St. Pete. It's starting to shift over to I-75 in our southern zones, where you've been in a little bit of a rain wall, not wind, but now you're getting that extremely heavy rainfall pushing back on shore here from Tampa Bay, from Apollo Beach over to Ruskin, getting into Waimama, and over toward Port Manatee. We're going to start to see some extremely heavy rainfall rates for you guys as well. So that's what we've got going for you now. Just wanted to give you those updates. Again, very, very concerning to see this eye wall starting to shift. It's good, it's bad, because the good news is that extreme 4 to 6 inch rainfall totals per hour that we're seeing within the eye wall are going to start to move a little bit out of the areas that have picked up over a foot of rain in Pierce County already. But that's now going to start shifting inland into a couple of eastern spots here as well. Dennis?
I was in the newsroom. I'm curious what the wind is with this stuff.
So, unfortunately, it looks like the velocity is not giving us the true accurate estimate because of where Ruskin is versus the eye wall. But what I've been seeing is what you can see is where you still have the golden colors here and the bright blue colors here. Those velocity scans are still showing up over 80 miles per hour. So, of course, as this starts to move, those values are going to start to come down a little bit. So we've got 66 here, 67. Let's see.
It does look like Pinellas is coming down a lot, though.
Yeah, Pinellas County, it looks like it's coming down as the eye is starting to shift inland and that heavy band is. But look here in east over toward Brandon, like I was just talking about a second ago, and Plant City, Mango, Sefner. This is where we're still getting those winds on the east side of the eye wall coming in with potentially gusts over 90 miles per hour. So maybe a little bit better for Pinellas County as that's shifting east. Still kind of the tough situation, though, here from Pinellas County. And then, of course, where the eye wall is down to the south, the back side of the eye wall. That's why Paul's live shot was getting a little hairy there with some of the stuff starting to fly by behind him. That back side of the eye wall is getting some of those stronger winds down, the extreme winds back into places that were quiet. And by the way, the winds in the eye and
ain't much going on down there.
The National Hurricane Center or the National Weather Service said they were measured at 1.7 miles per hour within the eye and CSTP as it was going by.
Wow. And they had a max wind of 120, I believe I saw. By the way, just letting you know that Greg D, the reason he's not here is because he found a raincoat and he's going to go outside and do a live shot outside.
There you go.
So, he's like, I got to be out in there.
Yeah, he's stuck in here all the time with us covering it, so it's very rare to have 3 meteorologists here at one time to get him out there to go out. And so we'll get out to Greg's live shot as soon as we get that set up. But yeah, ladies, that's the latest. I just wanted to give you a heads up now. In Hillsborough County, this is where we're seeing some of those 80-plus mile wind gusts begin to shift east.
All right, Nation. We're going to talk about some power outages. Obviously, we've been talking about the winds in Pinellas and Hillsborough. At this point, the statewide power outage, more than 1.1 million people in the state do not have power right now. TECO reporting more than 166,000 customers with electricity. Duke Energy has over 346,000 outages and 115,000 in Pinellas County alone.
Whoa,
Power and Light, 127,000 people without power in Manatee, and almost 160,000 people without power in Sarasota County. So big problem. Right?
Well, yeah, especially statewide, 1.1 million. That's a lot of folks. It's an important reminder we want to tell you about. We want you to be able to reach us and stay in touch 24/7 during and after Hurricane Milton. So please scan that QR code on your screen to download our apps. This way you can stay connected to us, even if you lose power or signal, and watch us on your phone. And to download our apps, just take out your cell phone and go to your app store, search for ABC Action News, and then just click on download. And once you are in the ABC Action News app, you'll actually see our live feed at the top of our homepage. We want to stay and cover what else is going on, especially in Hillsborough County.
Did you get it?
No,
darn it.
Yeah, because you were looking that way and I was trying to see what you were looking at.
Oh, there's a blue one right
there. A lot
there.
of wind and rain. In fact, the hotel where we're staying just lost
That
power
might
a
come
little
back
while
again,
ago.
huh?
They're on
Go back.
emergency backup power. They were handing out glow sticks so that some of the guests could find their way back to their rooms. But we've been lucky so far. There's street lights here, so we can see what's going on, and you can see the rain continuing to come down. So we talked about in the last.
Might want to check on it, Cassie.
Big parking deck. It's about 5 stories high, so it's actually shielding us from a lot of the wind, but go to the intersection, there's basically a wind tunnel.
Ian, you're gonna have to deal with it
just
for a
sucking
minute.
all that rain and all that wind. If you look up against
Without
that
no
building,
internet.
you can just see it flying through there. So it just kind of depends on where you're standing.